In a quiet suburb, a teenage girl named Elise practices her viola in her upstairs room. Her stepfather, a harsh and often drunk man, stumbles in, drink in hand, and disrupts her playing. He grabs her viola and becomes physically aggressive. In the struggle to defend herself, Elise shoves him back. He loses his balance, falls against a sharp-edged dresser, and suffers a fatal neck wound. Paralyzed with shock, Elise watches as he bleeds out. Police take her into custody. Despite her claims of self-defense, the court finds her guilty of manslaughter and sentences her to a juvenile detention center for a term of 4 to 9 years. She is transported by bus with other convicted teens to the imposing Oakwood Youth Correctional Center. They are met with chaotic shouts and whistles from current residents. After being issued standard uniforms, the new arrivals are assembled. The head of the facility, Warden Briggs, outlines the strict rules. Elise is assigned to a cell with Maya, a withdrawn girl who has been at Oakwood for 5 years. That night, after lights out, Elise falls into an exhausted sleep. Maya remains awake, her gaze fixed on Elise, engaging in subtle, private behavior. When Elise stirs and looks over, Maya quickly feigns sleep. The next day, during yard time, Elise keeps to herself. An assertive inmate named Reese approaches, explaining that alliances are necessary for survival here. Elise declines the offer. Later, in the cafeteria, Reese and her crew warn Elise about another girl who supposedly has a grudge. When Elise tries to walk away, Reese shoves her, causing her tray to clatter to the floor as the group laughs. That evening, while Elise is on cleaning duty, Reese and her friends corner her in a storage closet. They accuse her of disrespect and beat her. Reese, as the leader, threatens Elise against reporting them and before leaving, kisses her forcefully. Bruised and shaken, Elise is treated in the medical wing but refuses to name her attackers, fearing retaliation. The nurse suggests she speak to Warden Briggs. Elise goes to Briggs's office seeking protection. Instead, he uses his position to make inappropriate advances. Horrified, she rejects him and flees back to her cell in tears. Maya observes her distress and asks if it was Briggs. An overwhelmed Elise lashes out, calling the whole place corrupt. Maya offers comfort, explaining the facility's harsh realities, and compliments Elise. Their conversation leads to a hesitant physical connection. The following day in the yard, another inmate who had been eyeing Elise throws a basketball hard at her head. Fueled by anger, Elise marches over to Reese's group and demands to join. A scuffle breaks out with one member, stopped by guards, but it shows Elise's new defiance. Later, Reese tells Elise that to earn a place in her crew, she must prove herself. She takes Elise to a secluded area, gives her a drink, and instructs her to fight the girl from the yard while the crew records it. Reluctantly, Elise does so, sparking a major fight that requires guard intervention. As punishment, Elise is placed in solitary confinement, a pitch-black, cold room, for 2 full days. Upon release, she is summoned to Warden Briggs. He smugly reminds her of his total control and implies her stay could become much worse if she doesn't comply. He then coerces her into a degrading act. Traumatized, Elise later scrubs herself raw in the shower. Afterward, Reese's crew initiates Elise by giving her a tattoo. Alone afterward, Reese pressures Elise into an intimate moment, promising protection in exchange. Their privacy is almost breached by another crew member, but Reese dismisses her. Soon after, a guard escorts Elise back to her cell. During a visit, Elise's mother angrily accuses her of murdering her stepfather on purpose. She slaps Elise across the face before a guard restrains her, shouting that she wishes Elise would never leave Oakwood. Devastated, Elise later meets with Reese's crew, but the girl from the earlier fight attacks her with a shank. A massive brawl erupts, involving multiple girls. Briggs calls Elise to his office, blaming her for the riot. He forces a tube of inhalant on her, disorienting her, and takes advantage of her drugged state. Back in her cell, Elise's behavior becomes volatile. She screams at and even strikes Maya. Briggs uses this as further leverage, threatening to transfer her to a notorious adult prison if she causes more trouble. Feeling trapped, Elise begs to go home, but he refuses. Now craving the drugs, Elise seeks out Reese, who denies her. They argue, and after Elise spits at her, Reese expels her from the group. Without this protection, Elise is brutally ambushed in a bathroom by the other girl and her friends. After being patched up, Elise spirals deeper, buying drugs from other addicted inmates. Her addiction worsens, leading to hallucinations. In a fugue state, she carves the word empty into her arm. After a violent drug-fueled fight that injures even the guards, Elise is thrown back into solitary. Upon release, Reese visits to mock Maya. Elise confronts her, stating they are nothing to each other and to stay away. That night, Maya comforts Elise, and they reconnect. The next day, Maya tries to stop Elise from using, but Elise ignores her. As she is about to inhale the drugs with others, Reese arrives and pleads with her to stop. Elise screams, causing a disturbance. Briggs and a tactical team arrive. In the chaos, Elise grabs a broken piece of plastic and holds it to her own throat. During the struggle to disarm her, Briggs gets cut on the cheek. Elise is subdued and sent back to solitary, naked. The extended isolation breaks her. She shatters her meal tray and uses a shard to cut her wrists. Found barely conscious, she is rushed to the psychiatric ward. There, a therapist, Dr. Arden, helps her. Elise confesses she didn't want to die, just to escape the pain. Moved to a recovery ward, a kind nurse tends to her. During a phone call, Elise's mother apologizes, explaining that losing their home made her realize her failings, and she vows to fight for Elise's future. However, Briggs soon declares Elise fit and returns her to Gen Pop. Seeking change, Elise painfully scratches out her crew tattoo. Maya supports her decision. At lunch, Reese's group cruelly taunts Elise for being alone. Later, a guard takes Elise to a room where Briggs has her viola. He says she can perform in the facility's upcoming arts showcase. Though wary, Elise agrees. Playing provides a fleeting sense of peace. The next day, she finds a note reading "Your time's up." Reese's crew then corners her, furious about the removed tattoo. Reese slashes Elise's cheek with a razor blade, and the group beats her down. In the medical wing, Briggs visits, promising to punish Reese. His lingering touch is noticed by the attending nurse. After he leaves, the nurse whispers to Elise that she will report Briggs. Briggs, watching via hidden camera, orchestrates the nurse's accidental death. When Elise learns of it, she is shattered. Briggs summons Elise, blaming the nurse's death on Reese, and again pressures Elise about the performance. At the showcase, Elise plays beautifully to applause. Afterward, Briggs tells her he's scheduled a parole hearing as a reward. But first, she must submit to him one last time, which he forces on her backstage. Back in her cell, Elise tells Maya about the hearing. Maya warns that Briggs enjoys giving false hope. Determined, Elise approaches Reese for help to bring Briggs down. Reese gives her a tiny concealed camera. At the parole hearing, Briggs advocates against her release. Prepared, Elise plays the video evidence of his abuse for the officials. Briggs is immediately arrested. Elise is granted parole. Before leaving, she shares a heartfelt goodbye with Maya. As she walks out, she passes Reese and gives a nod of acknowledgement. Outside, her mother embraces her. In the final scene, Elise is on a concert stage, performing a solo on her viola for a packed hall. In the audience, her mother watches, tears of pride streaming down her face, as her daughter reclaims her life in art.